In this video I'm going to run through an example of opening and reviewing a project. So we're going to start by opening an existing project, and this is the one that we're going to open today. And then we click on OK, open. And there's the default view that opens up. In these examples, it's currently set up to open at the last view that it was saved, but we can get Revit to open up to a specific view every single time, regardless of which view was opened last, and we'll talk more about this in a different video. So from here we're going to go to the project browser, and then we're going to expand on the mechanical discipline and the HVAC, and then we're going to go to floor plan, and we're going to click on this 01 mechanical floor plan to show us this view. Here now we would just use the scroll wheel to zoom, pan, or use the scroll wheel by pressing and just wheeling the wheel in and out, or pressing and moving the mouse side by side, and that's just panning around. If we double click on the scroll wheel, a slight jump, I'll show you again in a better example. So in this particular view here, we can either double click on the scroll wheel or use the keyboard command ZF, which means zoom to fit. We can also right click and do zoom to fit here, but double click on the scroll wheel to give us that. So there's three options to do this. Now we're going to go to the plumbing area, and we're going to double click on this particular view here. And then we're going to go up to coordination, MEP, floor plan, and space planning, 01 space planning. Now all of the previous views are still open, and we can see that here with these tabs being on display. Now if we go up here to the quick access toolbar, we can switch windows by clicking on this switch window tab here, and we can instantly zoom, go to one of these, or we would just click on the tab that we've got already open. This command here was back from an older version when there wasn't any tabs. It was just the view at the full screen and you didn't know which views you had open. So you can just click on the relevant one there. Space planning. Now if we go to the view tab and click on here, view tile, or we can use the command WT, it will expand them all out into the four views that we've got. Now of course, whatever angle we were last looking at, as well as the fact that it's shrunk down, it means that they're not necessarily all in good viewing mode. So we just use ZA, zoom all, to align them all up within our windows. When you use this view tile command, whichever view that you happen to have open or current, when you click on this, will always appear in the top left hand corner. So if you remember, we had space planning on, and when I clicked on tile view, that's the reason why this one is always top left. Now I'm going to close these other views down for a moment while we work on this one. Now we're going to look at displaying the element properties. So we're in this particular view, mechanical plan view, and I'm going to zoom into this area here. If we hover over this particular item, you can see that we're going to get an indication, some information about that particular element. But as you can see, it's not showing up in the properties because we haven't actually selected it. All we're doing is getting some brief information about the item. So over this one, it's an air terminal, and it tells us quick information, and over the duct, it tells us what type of duct it is. But because we haven't selected it, it doesn't show up in the properties. If we click on it, now we are getting more information about that particular item, its location, elevation, dimensions of it, etc., what system it's connected to. Now if we, whilst using our control key and collect another item, so we've got two items shown now. You can now see that we've got here in the properties that we've got two ducts indicated, that we've highlighted two items. So if we were to change the width, it will affect both of these items, not just the one. If we go in and select an air terminal as well as, you can see that it's now changed to common and 3 items selected, and the majority of the information has disappeared because there are 2 different types of elements. If we click on this, we can then go in and go into the particular, so it's like a filter command. We can go in and just click on the air terminal and change what we need to do, or go back to the ducts. So the common is all 3, but we can still change anything on the specific items within that group of 3. Just click on modify to escape out of that. So now we're going to go and click on the 3D view. The default, as I've mentioned it in a different video, the default 3D view is southeast from above, an isometric view. Now if we press and hold shift and press the scroll wheel, we can rotate around the building. Change the graphic display to realistic. And you can choose any of these ones that you like to look at. Obviously these default settings are slightly different in each one. Choose one that we like. And then we can name this rename it to whatever we want. "3D View 2". Then we're going to go back to Mechanical Plan View, and here we're going to create a camera view. So I've gone up to View, chosen Camera, position our camera, and I'm going to expand it to maybe about here. Because we were in a mechanical floor plan when we did this, it automatically defaults to the mechanical discipline, and we're basically seeing the mechanical default settings. So here I like to use this and change this to a realistic view for coordination. Click apply and change our shading and detail level. So as you can see here, we've got a ceiling, but this portion here has no ceiling, and we are able to see the ductwork and pipework and now all the other surfaces that would be concealed if the ceiling was to continue on. We can resize this view by grabbing the edges and just expanding out like this, and even move your cursor backwards just to expand your view that you need. Now that we've changed that discipline from mechanical to coordination, that view is no longer in the mechanical section here in the project browser. To find that view, we need to go up to coordination here, and there we have our 3D view 1, which is this one, and there's our 3D view 2, which was that one.